ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapreshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshe Tarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Yeah, so we are on Canto 1, Chapter 4, and verse 26. So we know that these sages of Naimisharanya, who are headed by Srila Shaunaka Rishi, they are inquiring, asking questions to Srila Suta Goswami. So Shaunaka Rishi is heading all those because he's oldest, and he's asking questions on everyone's behalf, and they want to know about how Bhagavatam came into manifestation, how Vyasdev felt inspired about it, and how did Shukadev Goswami was recognized by the people of Hastinapur when he was like wandering like an Avaduta. And also they want to know that why did Parikshit Maharaj decide to sit on the bank of Ganges until death. So they wanted to know all these things, and that's how Sutta Goswami started speaking. So he first started speaking about Shukadev Goswami, right? That's what it is. Yeah, sorry, he started speaking about Vyasdev, and he spoke that how he was seeing anomalies in the upcoming yuga, right? And then because he was seeing all these things that people will be suffering because of lack of spiritual intelligence and because of lack of spiritual upliftment. So he decided to divide one Veda into four, and then he assigned those four parts to his four students. And then those Jaimini Rishi, Paila Rishi, and then Vaishampayan and Gautama Rishi, right? And then these four, and then individually also it is told that which Paila Rishi became professor of Rig Veda, Jaimini, Samaveda, Vaishampayan, Yajur Veda, Angira Rishi, Atharva Veda, and Roma Harshana with Itihasas and Puranas, right? So these fifth Veda he became the professor of. And then they in turn gave this to their own students, students of the students, like disciples, grand disciples, great grand disciples. And therefore in the world we see that there are so many religions, so many branches of the religions, and so many different understandings. So that's the reason why uh, but it is coming from one source. Everybody needs to understand that it is coming from one source. So actually the source is pure, but the impurity happens when there are misinterpretations, and so many people are wanting to have their own right on that particular religion. They want to have many followers. So when this way consciousness corrupts, then there goes the flaw in that particular branch, and then there is what conflicts, right? So therefore we see like there are so many conflicting opinions among the Sanatan religion itself, right? But pure Sanatan religion, it has no conflict, because Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita that from all the Vedas I am to be known. That is, I mean, he cannot speak more simply than this. It is very direct. So but still people don't want to understand, so he respects their free will choices as well. So now he also developed why did he write Mahabharat for the less intelligent class, means who are not that way analytical and who don't have time to do study that deeply all the shastras. And now we can endorse to that, that we see that our lives are so busy in working and keeping up the house and maintenance and so many bank related stuff, and this investment, that investment, and mortgage, and this that. So our lives have become so complicated that we cannot even think of spending 10 hours, 12 hours with the shastras every day. Not at all, not even 1 hour we are able to spend. So that's why Vyasdev created story based. I mean, not created, that's a wrong word. Basically, he compiled everything which had already happened. So that was more relatable. Like we in ISKCON also we talk about giving the philosophy in a relatable way, right, to new people, so that they can connect with something in their lives also, right? So similarly, Vyasdev gave Mahabharata so that people are able to relate. And yes, many people relate with this, the emotions that Pandavas were going through, the Kauravas were going through, and how the war was fought, and what all things were happening. So people can relate to those emotions also, and then they can learn from that, that what is proper and what is improper to do in life. So let's continue from text 26. 1:4:26. एवं प्रवृत्तस्य सदा भूतानां श्रेयसी द्विजः सर्वात्मकेनापि यदा नातु षद्यदृदयं ततः. Evam, thus, pravrattasya, one who is engaged in, sada, always, bhutanam, of the living beings, shreyasi, in the ultimate good, dvijaha, or twice born, sarvatmakena api, by all means, yada, when, na, not, atushyat, become satisfied, hridayam, mind, tatah, at that time. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O twice-born Brahmanas, still his mind was not satisfied, although he engaged himself in working for the total welfare of all people, right? So Suta Goswami is telling to all these sages of Naimisharanya, he is addressing them as O twice-born Brahmanas. And we understood last time what is the meaning of Dvija, that one is biological birth and another birth is considered when your initiation happens, right? So Guru becomes your spiritual father, eternal father, and he also gives you a different name. So all those ceremonies happen, and that's why they are called as twice born. Of course, I mean, when Brahminical initiation happens, when one turns into a Brahmana, but yeah, we can also say that even Harinam initiation is like that. So he is addressing all the sages of Naimisharanya as O twice born Brahmanas, and he's talking about who? Vyasdev. That still his mind was not satisfied, although he did the work up to Mahabharata, right? So much work he already did, that even he considered the woman, the Shudras, and the Vaishyas, and what to speak of Brahman as learned scholar. He had already done that work. Jaimini, Paila, Gautama, and all those rishis. He has already given that work to them. But even up till this level, to Mahabharata, he is coming and providing the scriptural, spiritual instructions to even like general mass of people, then also he didn't feel satisfied. So we think that, okay, we will preach and do this, that, so we will feel satisfied. But see, Vyasdev was not feeling satisfied. Even after doing so much work, writing or compiling so many books. Um, so, purport, Sri Vyasdev was not satisfied with himself. Although he had prepared literatures of Vedic value for all around welfare of general mass of people, it was expected that he would be satisfied by all such activities, but ultimately he was not satisfied, right? So maybe you can think about it, what might have been the reason, right, which is coming up now slowly. 1427. नाति प्रसिद्ध दुर्दयः सरस्वत्यास्तटेषु च वितर्कयन् विविक्तस्थ इदं चोवाच धर्मवित्. Na, not. Ati prasidat, very much satisfied. Hridaya, at heart. Saraswatyaha, of the river Saraswati. Tate, on the bank of Shuchau, being purified. Vitarkayan, having considered. Viviktastha, situated in a lonely place. Idam cha, also this Uvacha said, Dharmavit, one who knows what religion is. Thus the sage, being dissatisfied at heart, at once began to reflect, because he knew the essence of religion, and he said within himself. So Vyasdev was he was incarnation of Krishna, right? He was personality of Godhead in one sense. But then he came as a empowered incarnation. So he knew all the essence of religion, so that's why he was able to reflect. So when we are able to reflect a little bit that, oh, why this suffering is happening, or why am I behaving like that, or what is wrong with me, what is going inside me, as long as we are blaming others, that means we are in ignorance or passion. But when we start to getting know ourselves more, that and when we are questioning ourselves that what is happening, what disturbance is happening in my heart, that I'm behaving like that, then actually goodness is sprouting. And that's the mercy of Krishna, actually. Because today morning I was hearing a lecture where Rajavihari Prabhu was mentioning that if you are attentive in chanting, and if you are accepting of not being able to attentive. So first he is saying that you try to be attentive in chanting, and then he's saying, but be accepting of that we are not able to be attentive, right? Because mind slips like this. So if you still keep trying and keep accepting, keep trying and keep accepting, then a third thing happens, which is a very beautiful thing that happens by Krishna's intervention, that he starts giving you awareness. That's what he was mentioning. So awareness means what? Oh, some feeling is coming to me. Because many times people are not even aware of their feelings, right? Like a child is crying, and nobody knows what he wants. And then mother gives him food, then he stops crying. So many people wanted to, pacify him by giving him toy, by doing drawing with him, painting with him, something, but he was not pacified. But as soon as mother came, she knew that he just is hungry, and she gave him food, and the child was pacified, happy, right? So Krishna, yeah, so that's what I was saying, that many people are not even aware of their feelings. So Krishna start giving us awareness about ourselves, that, oh, I'm feeling it this way. And then he also gives us intelligence, thinking process, that from where it is coming, right? So that is called as a sattva gun behavior, like we are contemplating within, not like always blaming others, and this is happening because of them, this is happening because of this, and why did they behave like that with me, and it is totally their fault, and because of them this is happening. Not thinking like that, but yes, I'm getting some feelings of anxiety, nervousness, anger, or whatever. So that awareness is given by Krishna, and then he furthermore gives us, when we continue our practice like that, you know, attentiveness, acceptance. Bring your mind back, bring your mind back in chanting, because Krishna also knows that mind is so fickle. Arjuna says that in Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna, mind is even harder than controlling the wind. That's what Arjuna is saying. So of course it is difficult for us. So Krishna understands, but what is he looking at? He's only looking at our efforts, nothing else. He doesn't want anything from us, right? But when parents see that child is trying, let's say, so Krishna, Nanda Baba used to ask Krishna, or Yashoda Maya asked Krishna to bring something, so Krishna is very little and he cannot reach to that cupboard. So he will just hint some, servants like that. Just he will point at that. And then when they will take it out for Krishna, and then he will just somehow, I mean, he's barely walking. So how can he hold the things while walking? Because you need a good balance for that, right? So he will be, stumbling and, rolling and this that, and he will leave the thing there and he will just come running to his father Nanda Baba, and he will still so affectionately love him, and he will smile and laugh. It's just all about love, right? So when effort is done, parents are already happy with the children, and we all can relate with this. When a very little toddler is trying to walk and he falls again and again, then no parent would say that, oh, you are a dumb, you can't even walk. They appreciate that, wow, he's trying to walk, is and then they give hand also, that take my help and come. So Krishna is also just like that. We can always map this relationship of parent to Krishna. um, so he sees our efforts. So when we are trying to be attentive, and this is not working out, but we are accepting that, okay, I again miss this, it's okay, I'll bring my mind back, and requesting mind, please come, don't address other things. So like that, when we continue, so Prabhu was saying that, then Krishna gives us awareness, then we can do this internal journey, right? So yeah, I elaborated a little bit because it is an interesting topic for me. But yeah, I'm seeing the same thing here, that Vyasdev is so elevated personality. So he started reflecting because he knew the essence of religion. So we also know the essence of that holy name is non different from Krishna. We know this essence. So we just keep trying, and those efforts are very valued by Krishna. The sage began to search out the cause of not being satisfied at heart. Perfection is never attained until one is satisfied at heart. This satisfaction of heart has to be searched out beyond matter, right? So, like, instead of looking outside, we see within, because satisfaction is within, right? It is not out there somewhere, it's inside us, which we are not experiencing yet. So although it is inside, so many times the example of that deer is given who has that musk inside, or kasturi it is called in Hindi. So he is smelling that, but he doesn't know that it is within him, within that deer. So he's like running helter skelter everywhere to find that musk. That is the situation. So next, 1 4 28 29. धृतव्रतेन हि मया छन्दासि गुरवोऽग्नयः मानिता निर्वलिकेन गृहीतं चानुशासनम् भारत भारतव्यपदेशेन यार्थश्च प्रदर्शितः दृश्यते यत्र धर्मादि स्त्रीशूद्रादिभिरप्युत. Dhrita Vratena, under a strict disciplinary vow, he certainly, Maya, by me, Chandamsi, the Vedic hymns, Guravaha, the spiritual masters, Agnayaha, the sacrificial fire, Manitaha, properly worshipped, Nirvyalikena, without pretense, Grahitam cha, also accepted, Anushasanam, traditional discipline, Bharata, the Mahabharat, Vyapadeshena, by compilation of, um, he certainly, Amnaya Arthaha, import of disciplic succession, cha, and Pradarshitaha, properly explained, Drishyate, by what is necessary, Yatra, where, Dharmadihi, the path of religion, Stri Shudra, Adibhi api, even by woman Shudra, etc. Uta, spoken. I have, under strict disciplinary vow, unpretentiously worshipped the Vedas, the spiritual masters, and the altar of sacrifice. I have also abided by the rulings and have shown the import of disciplic succession through the explanation of Mahabharata, by which even women, Shudra, and other friends of the twice born can see the path of religion. Right? Who is speaking? Vyasdev is speaking like that. I mean, to himself. No one can understand the import of Vedas without having undergone a strict disciplinary vow and disciplic succession. The Vedas, spiritual masters, and sacrificial fire must be worshipped by the desiring candidate. All these intricacies of Vedic knowledge are systematically presented in Mahabharata for the understanding of woman class, the laborer class, and unqualified members of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya families. In this age, the Mahabharata is more essential than the original Vedas, right? So he did such important work. That's what Prabhupada is establishing, that most of the people in this Kali Yuga are in mode of passion and ignorance, right? So they are miserable, very miserable modes. These are, they make the person very miserable. They will have bad habits and they will not recognize their bad habits and still keep thinking, why am I suffering, why am I suffering? But they are so blind-sided, they overlook their bad habits, so they don't even understand. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Sorry, when kids call, it feels like, oh, if they need anything. Hmm. Yeah. So that's what Srila Prabhupada is establishing, that how important work he has done, that people don't understand that they are miserable and they are looking for some happiness here, there, by any means. Many people are go in negative account balance, but they keep buying the things, and they have so many bills pending, and they are a single parent and they are struggling and suffering, and why all this is happening, right? They never question this, that why they need to slow down and think that why it is happening, why am I desiring so much although I cannot afford, and all those things kind of. And then they take shelter in intoxication, and that more worsens the matters, right? So for such people, Vyasdev has written Mahabharata, so such good work has been done already, right? Still, why is he not feeling satisfaction? So those people who do philanthropy, in mode of goodness, they do, some construction work or some construction of wells or roads or charity, this that, but many times they may not feel satisfied, like Vyastev is feeling that way, right? Because he did all the lot of goodness work for all the people, right? And he knew his sense of religion. तथापि बत मेदेयो यात्मा चैवात्मना विभुः असंपन्न इवा भाति ब्रह्मवर्चस्य सत्तमः. Tathapi, although, but defect, me, mine, dahi, yaha, situated in the body, he certainly, Atma, living being, cha, and eva even atmana myself vibhu sufficient a asama asamapannah wanting in iva abhati, it appears to be brahma varchasya of the vedantis sattamaha, the supreme. I am feeling incomplete, though I myself am fully equipped with everything required by the Vedas. Now think about this. Vyasdev is a hero, right? Because all the temples, the seat where the speaker sits is called as Vyasasan. Means actually that asan belongs to Vyasdev. He is the Param Guru of the scriptures, right? So before anybody can sit on the Vyasasan, they need to be in disciplic succession of Vyasdev, right? So that kind of a personality is feeling incomplete, and although he's equipped with everything required by the Vedas, right? So not only us get that kind of feelings, so even great personalities gets those kind of feelings, but of course their feelings are not on material level, but we feel, because we are in the center, so we feel bad for ourselves many times. But Vyasdev is not feeling that kind of feeling, but of course this is he's feeling at some dissatisfaction. We also feel dissatisfaction, but we are in the center because we feel that, oh, we couldn't enjoy enough. But Vyasdev is not able to understand that why am I feeling dissatisfied, right? Undoubtedly, Srila Vyasdev was complete in all the details of Vedic achievements. Purification of living being submerged in matter is made possible by prescribed activities in Vedas, right? So these day and age, living beings are submerged in materialistic activities, matter. Many, because we are in devotee association, so we don't understand, like we were talking Meghna Mataji earlier today, but people uh, don't understand all these things, and they are like they have some allergy with God or something, whenever somebody talks about God. I mean, many people are pro also, like we saw in Jagannath Rath Yatra, many people who don't know anything about, they are very curious, so they are very sweet people, they come and ask questions and listen and all that. But there are many rebellious people that, oh, these are fools, they just wear some robes and they wrap around the bed sheets and they dance, and they do nobody knows what they are up to and all that. So even that kind of people also are there. Like our Guru Maharaj tells this story that when he was doing book distribution, so one person one time snatched the book and he threw it on the floor on the road, and he started jumping on that book. And then he said that I was new, so I was not sure what to do. But then Jay Advaita Maharaj was already in Sankirtan at that time. He was not a Maharaj, but he was a senior brahmachari. So he suddenly shouted very loudly, Jai Narsimha. So this nut person suddenly ran away from there. But the attraction of Krishna consciousness is such that he started coming regularly, and he used to tell people that, hey, don't do anything, they are good people. So Narsimha, Dev's name chanted very close to his ear gave that effect to him. So we are in very good company. It is very, very auspicious. And day by day, I feel and notice this more and more, that how fortunate we are to be in this disciplic succession of Srila Prabhupada. How much mercy he has done on us, how much compassion he had, and how much purity of intention he had, that so many people are still getting attracted and still joining, even though he has left his body many years ago. So this movement is very, very pure movement. Whatever the quarrels and fights among devotees we see, they are, just like a part of a family. Even family members fight, it is like that. But they will also slowly, slowly get purified, because after all, they are following the process, right? So some devotees bring very bitter experiences from their, either from the past life or from their upbringing or childhood somewhere. So when they get such a space where the feelings are coming out, so then they rent it out, right? Because they vent it out, because they have to get it out of their system. And that is the time when quarrels happen and fights happen because of misunderstanding or this and that. But ultimately everybody is following this most auspicious and pure process, and ultimately everybody is going to get purified wherever we are. Some people will take more time, some people will take less time because some are following from a longer time or something. But this process itself is very, very purifying. So we need to just hang in there. We need to just be around the devotees. So yeah, we will finish with this. Undoubtedly, Srila Vyasdev was complete in all the details of Vedic achievements. Purification of living beings submerged in matter is made possible by the prescribed activities in the Vedas, but the ultimate achievement is different. Unless it is attained, the living being, the living being, even though fully equipped, cannot be situated in transcendentally normal state. Srila Vyasdev appeared to have lost the clue and therefore felt dissatisfaction. So what Prabhupada is saying actually, that purification, gradual purification happens when people follow the prescribed activities of Vedas, right? Like people do perform daily rituals and daily aarti, or they will just offer some respect to God and then go for work, or they will offer one incense or some. All that is good, but these activities prescribed in Vedas are not very like completely sufficient to drive away that dissatisfaction, unless ultimate achievement is attained. I mean, ultimate goal, and that goal is many times missed. So we will see in our next reading what is that goal and who appears there. So it's all beautiful. This whole section I always so much love. This, Narad Muni's appearance and Vyasdev's dissatisfaction, despondency, because we can relate with these things. Yeah, so we will stop here for today. Verse number 30. I think this is only 33 verses, so 3 more to go, but next time we can cover and start with the next chapter as well. So any of you want to share any reflections or comments, anything?
Mataji, it so happened that I also listened to that lecture of Rajbihari Prabhu, and it was so eye-opening, isn't it? I was like, yesterday I think I was listening to
Wow.
him.
Mm.
But the thing that I wanted to say is that, even though I listened to the lecture yesterday,
Mm.
it was like when I heard from you, it kind of, definitely helped, because sometimes, like I'm multitasking and listening to stuff, and then I forget about it.
Yeah. Same thing, Mataji,
So it's
with me
hard to
also.
kind of,
Mm.
some, like, at least for me, has been hard to like implement.
Mm.
So it was a good reminder. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that.
No, thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah, even, I mean, he is so profoundly, like, he has so much realization that he can speak like that. I mean, many ISKCON devotees I see, they have like Bhurijan Prabhu, his Prabhupada's disciples. If we read his Japa book, oh my God, he will say everything that we experience
Right,
with
right.
regard to mind.
Yeah, they are
But,
able to analyze it and kind of like present
hmm,
it in a way that
yes,
is very um, understandable for us. And
yes,
I was very amazed at like how he had these like three stages, kind of like a triangle,
yes,
like of realizations that
yeah,
people go through during japa, and he was able to articulate it and present it in such a way that is easily understandable
yeah,
and kind of easy to implement as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, it was very
uh
graphic.
yeah,
Yeah, and ultimately he ended with that, in the middle you will get acceptance to that boredom. Then,
right,
that will start, blooming. That's what my understanding was.
right, right,
Yeah.
right.
So amazing.
Yeah, he said that like when you start looking forward to that
They're looking forward for the boredom.
yeah. So I was wondering, when would that day come where we would like be looking forward to the boredom?
Krishna gives Mataji. He will, means we all are trying, and our only asset is our sincerity and desire. Only this thing we have, which is also given by him only. But as much as we will preserve that, sometimes we have a habit of taking things casually. But I realize that we should make everything very big about Krishna. Even a small thing we realize, if we forgot something and he reminded us at right time, we should write it down, we should glorify it. Oh wow, if I would not have remembered it, this would have happened. Like the gossip, we make it too big, right? So it affects our brain and heart. But if we make every small thing big about Krishna, then that will also positively and transcendentally affect our brain and heart. That's what
Yeah,
I
that's a great realization. Thank you, Mataji. That's
yeah,
wonderful.
somehow, so yeah, but let's see how much I implement that. But that's
You are
something.
already implementing, Mataji.
Oh, we all need each other's inspiration. But yeah, I saw Rutul Prabhu also unmuted. So Rutul Prabhu, would you like to share something?
No, Madhuri, I'm just saying, like, sometimes we never know, like, how we are, Krishna is helping. So,
Mm.
like, I always have this, trouble, like, managing, work and then,
Oh.
Krishna consciousness. I have, like, so much trouble. So, I
Mm.
started keeping Bhagavad Gita at work.
Mm.
And I was just talking to there was a new lady. She was Muslim, but
Mm-hmm.
she was interested in spirituality, and I started talking about Bhagavad Gita, and she's like, can you give me a copy?
Wow.
And I gave her my copy that I keep at work. So it's unbelievable that how
So true, Prabhu. And ultimately, see, again, it boils down to, of course, mercy is the biggest factor. But you had that sincerity and desire, right, Prabhu? That you felt to keep the Bhagavad Gita at your office. So Krishna only sees that,
yeah,
oh, how sincere this devotee is, how much he is desiring. So we take one step and Krishna takes 100.
right.
Is so personal, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada to give us this personal philosophy, because impersonal philosophy, people are really dissatisfied because they are following impersonalism. So now this is our work. This becomes our responsibility that we have taken from Srila Prabhupada, and we need to share it with others. And that's what you did. So that's a great thing, Prabhu. Maybe you can keep 3 or 4 more Bhagavad Gitas. More people will start coming. Some people take cookies also. They bake
Yeah.
it home and they offer, and then they take, and then they just
Mm.
offer. People want to take, they take. They don't want, they don't. But generally people accept it, they like cookies. So
Mm.
it's all the great ways of spreading Krishna consciousness. So thank you very much for that very nice sharing, Prabhu and Mataji.
Thank you,
So,
Mother.
yeah, so I hope to meet on Monday, but probably not, because the festival of Holy Name will be there on yeah.
Oh, did not this weekend, right, Mataji? Next weekend. That would be next weekend, right?
All right. So 29th we are meeting. Yes. But 2nd July we won't be able to meet.
Right,
So
right, right.
yeah, 29th
Okay,
we will meet. Yeah. So I'll
okay.
see you on Monday. Thank you so much. Hare
And
Krishna.
Mataji,
Thank
Hare
you.
on
Hare
Krishna.
on
Krishna.
Tuesday, have
Huh.
class at my house.
Oh, sorry. Uh,
30th.
oh, right, right. So you are telling to Meghna Mataji. Yeah. So Meghna Mataji, we were just talking. So Maharaj is coming to Rutul Prabhu's home program on 30th of June.
30th, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, but 29th, if I mean, I can still do on 29th. I know Rutul Prabhu, you might be busy. So it's okay if you cannot. Maybe you can hear the recording later. But we are meeting on 29th.
Okay, Mataji.
And if you want to send an invitation, if at all you are wanting to, have more people, so you can send in our Bhagavatam reading group as well.
Sure, Mataji. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Vancha
Thank you.
kalpataru
Hare
bhyascha
Krishna.
kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare
Hare Krishna.